I will leave that to the judgment of the voters. I've been called a lot of things. Weak, not one of them.
All right, so let's talk about this. Senior writer for the Daily Caller, Jamie Weinstein, is with me. Online editor for the Weekly Standard, Michael Warren, joins me too, and Andre Bauer. He's a Trump supporter and the former lieutenant governor of South Carolina. Welcome to all of you. Andre, I'll start with you. Donald Trump says he can't support or can't endorse John McCain. Why?
Well, you know, some parties actually have, some state parties have prohibitions. I don't know what the law is in Arizona, but I'm not sure that it's healthy in a Republican primary for a presidential candidate to be endorsing. He doesn't want to alienate part of the Republican Party in that state, and so it's probably in his best interest to stay out of that fight within the family.
Really? So it has nothing to do about unity? He just doesn't want to interfere in a local or state election?
Well, it's not unity across party lines. It's unity within a party. And so I don't know how you unify, and if you have another Republican that may be a great individual, I don't know him.
But Donald Trump has said great things about Nayland. Is that different?
Well, you know, he may like both candidates in the race, and so to take a side, he's going to alienate part of his base within the Republican Party, and so it's probably in his best interest to stay out of any Republican Party primaries while he's in this election.
Michael, does that make sense to you?
No, I mean, the idea that Donald Trump is sort of observing some convention of political decorum by not getting involved in a Republican primary is kind of ludicrous, given all the things that he said over the last year and a half that have antagonized fellow Republicans. Look, I think that both with refusing to endorse John McCain and refusing to endorse Paul Ryan, and if you look at that Washington Post interview, he goes out of his way, Trump does, to make this point. He's trying, I think, to antagonize. The question is why? And I think ultimately he's trying to send a message that, look, nobody in this party owns me. I have no loyalty to the party, and that's kind of his prerogative. He doesn't really have any reason to be loyal to the Republican Party except for the fact that they gave him his nomination. The question really is, why do these other Republicans, John McCain, Paul Ryan, others who've supported him, that Trump continues to denigrate or slough off, continues to support him as well? It makes no sense from their perspective. What are they getting out of it?
Jamie, what are they getting out of it, if anything?
Well, I don't know. So, look, this is the reality. Donald Trump is not an expert in policy. What he is an expert in is stealing people's dignity. We saw that with Chris Christie when he endorsed him. Now, reportedly, according to the New Yorker, he fetches burgers for Chris Christie. Finally, you get John McCain and Paul Ryan, who reluctantly get behind Donald Trump, I think, for institutional and political reasons. And once they get behind him, what does Trump do the first time or the second time? They don't exactly stand with him on an issue. In this case, not attacking the mother of a fallen veteran. He goes out there and takes their dignity even further by refusing to get behind them. You know, this is like a national dumpster fire. There is no protocol that a presidential candidate doesn't get involved in a primary. George W. Bush got involved in primaries that he thought were important. Of course, Donald Trump, you would think, would get behind the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, and John McCain, the sitting senator from Arizona, who have both endorsed him. This is a deliberate slap in the face to them, and it really only further humiliates them. You saw that video of John McCain. That is a man who seems like Donald Trump has taken a piece of his dignity there. You know he doesn't want to stand there and stand behind Donald Trump, but he almost seems forced to. And Donald Trump is not helping the situation.
Then why doesn't John McCain just say, I unendorse or don't support Donald Trump?
Well, I think he should, but I think the reason he doesn't is he feels that he stand with Trump in the Republican primary. Donald Trump, remember, won the Republican primary in Arizona. John McCain is in a Republican primary right now. He probably feels he has to do it for political reasons. I think he should be a maverick and unendorse Donald Trump.
Okay, so Andre, Dana Bash is reporting, a source close to Reince Priebus is incredibly upset with Donald Trump for refusing to endorse the House Speaker Paul Ryan, because Reince Priebus has been publicly supportive of Donald Trump. He's trying to unify his party, and now Donald Trump comes out and says, I'm not so sure about Paul Ryan. Is Reince
But
Priebus
I'm
right
not
to be
sure you're
upset?
unifying a party when you get involved in a I'm sorry to step over you. In a family fight, I'm not sure you're unifying the party. Look, I ran for re-election lieutenant governor, and my governor in the same party endorsed my opponent in a primary. It happens. Republicans are independent thinkers, and they'd always sing Kumbaya before a primary is over with. And so these are fights within a family, and it will prevail in the end. But a lot of times, the leader of the party
Andre,
doesn't endorse the person.
Didn't Paul Ryan, you know, to him it was a really difficult choice whether to come out and support Donald Trump.
Well, he didn't endorse him in a primary.
But
well,
he's
Paul Ryan
supportive
didn't
of
endorse him
Donald
in a
Trump
Republican
now.
primary.
He spoke at the
Well, he's
convention.
supporting him now because he's the nominee.
Yeah,
I'm sure
But he
he'll
didn't have
support
to.
Paul Ryan when he's the Republican nominee.
Carol, this is really interesting. This is sort of the way that Trump and I think those around Trump and who support Trump view politics. That it's all kind of tit for tat. I'll help you if you help me. Scratch my back if you scratch if I scratch yours. And I think there's something that's quite revealing about Trump's worldview of politics. The real issue here is he's the leader of the Republican Party now, and it's sort of the duty of a leader to help those who are supposed to be helping him. Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, if he wins, the House remains in Republican hands, he'll be the Speaker in Donald Trump's presidency. It would be in Donald Trump's interest.
But I would argue,
to
what
have
if his
somebody on.
opponent wins?
Yeah, let's be very
Well, Paul
clear
Nehlen
here.
is not going to be the House Speaker, I'll tell you that.
Let's be very clear here. Donald Trump is not staying out of this because he doesn't want to get involved in a Republican fight. He is not getting behind Paul Ryan and John McCain because they criticized him. And when someone criticizes Donald Trump, he can't stand that. So he is making a point saying, unless you get it behind me 100%, even stand with me when I'm criticizing the mother of a fallen U.S. soldier, you're not going to get my support. So that's what he's saying here. He's not trying to observe some protocol here or try to maintain unity within the Republican Party.
So Andre,
he's hitting back for being criticized.
So Andre, is it personal?
I don't know if it's personal or not, but if I had somebody that I thought wasn't treating me fair, I'm not sure I'd run out and get involved in a Republican primary to help that individual either. And of course, I'm speaking purely from Andre Bauer's behalf, but again, these fights happen within the party all the time. There may be a lot of his core supporters supporting their opponents within a Republican primary, so why would you engage in that fight? I don't know that there's an upside there.
All right, I have to leave it there. Jamie Weinstein, Michael Warren, Andre Bauer, thanks to all of you. All right, I have to get right now to breaking news out of the nation's capital, where a D.C. transit cop has been arrested for alleged